What is the worst advice you've ever heard? What about, if you want something done right, do it yourself? That's a pretty good one. Maybe you even told yourself that, but guess what? It's the fast track to overwhelm and burnout, if you're really honest with yourself. We need each other, and we can't do everything. Or, as a kid, did you ever hear, if you can't beat them, join them? Really? That's just plain awful. But there's one piece of advice that's even worse. Can you guess it? It creeps into our minds even as adults. Fake it until you make it. It's so bad because not only does it not work, it destroys your confidence and sabotages your ability to actually accomplish the thing. Welcome to The Next Simple Step. I'm Paul Goldsmith. And today, I want to help you build your confidence to go higher than you've ever imagined, to accomplish those stretch goals, and to do it with authenticity, no faking till you make it required. The first thing we got to do is throw out the positive affirmations. I'm sorry. They just have to go because they're counterproductive without evidence. For example, saying you're strong, but knowing deep down you're weak and struggling, or telling yourself you're rich when you're living paycheck to paycheck. You can't lie to your subconscious. You can fool most of the people most of the time, some of the people all the time, but you can't fool all the people all the time. Honest Abe had it right, and all the people include yourself. You can't fool yourself all the time, and you don't want to either. If you want to be something, go be it. Now, most of us don't intentionally fool ourselves, but it happens unintentionally. Because if you're anything like me and read a lot of business or self-help books, it can be tempting to think you can do most of the things they describe. One example is retired Navy SEAL David Goggins. I devoured his books, Can't Hurt Me, and never finished. This guy is incredible. First of all, he's the only member of the U.S. Armed Forces to complete SEAL training, Army Ranger School, and Air Force Tactical Air Controller training. Now, I didn't believe I could do all of those things, but when he started describing running ultra marathons, 100 milers, I started to believe maybe I could do the same. I mean, I've run a marathon. What's an extra 70 something miles? And if you're laughing, that's okay. It's fair because it's a lot. I have no evidence in my life that I can run 100 miles. And so I'm better served not believing I can until I do. What about for you? What's something that you'd like to do? You're believing maybe you could. Then the best advice I can offer is find someone that's done it, learn their method, figure out a plan, and go work the plan. It's as simple as that. I was reminded of this principle a few days ago. I participated in a fitness competition called the Nashville Fit Games. And if you knew me a couple of years ago, this is probably a pretty shocking situation because I only started taking my fitness seriously about 2 years ago. And so when you go from being quite sedentary to actively working out every day, you start building some confidence. You start getting some PRs very quickly, but at some point you plateau because you just keep doing what you're doing and you're sort of in maintenance mode. And so to challenge myself, I signed up for the Fit Games. It was 4 very challenging workouts in a row, same day, and up against some very strong, very athletic people that had been working out a lot longer than I had. And through this process, I learned once again that the only way to know if I can do the hard thing is to actually do it. And I did, but I was humbled very quickly during my first of the 4 events because it was so hard and no amount of self-help knowledge could help me in the midst of the competition. I just had to take it one step at a time and mentally brace myself, commit to keep going, pushing through the pain, and not quit. This is not a humble brag. It was so difficult, and I didn't win, didn't even come close, but I did finish, and I realized that though I trained for this competition, it was not hard enough, and The valuable lesson there is next time, and there will be a next time, I'll train more intensely. Each time you enter the arena, you either win or you learned. And I learned, and it was so worth doing the hard thing because now I have evidence that I can, and I can make a plan to go even further next time. What about for you? What is the hard thing that you're willing to accomplish? How can you build the confidence to achieve that? The root word of confidence, con meaning with, and phyto means trust. So what do you need to do to have the trust that you can complete that hard thing? Doing hard things is the only way we get better. What hard thing do you have to do to reach the next level? To give you the confidence, to have evidence that you can do the hard things, to build your everyday resume. So many people pad their resume and they're not fooling anyone. Your resume is built by the activities of your day. What do you want to get better at? And what simple steps can you take today to build confidence for tomorrow to go even further? If you need some help, you want some encouragement, reach out. I'm Paul J. Goldsmith on Instagram and Twitter. Now go out and do the hard things. You're worth it. Thanks for listening to the Next Simple Step Podcast.